Hey guys, Pete here. Yesterday I got some cool tips directly from the Farm Heroes Super Saga developers, so I wanted to share them with you and take a better look at each one of them. We got 10 tips as you can see from the graphic, and every one of them will come in handy in different spots while you're moving your way through the game. If you're not playing Farm Heroes Super yet, I suggest you check it out. If you like casual social games, it'll be right up your alley. It is the sister title of one of the most popular Match 3 games of all time, Farm Heroes Saga, which means it has a similar look and mechanics with added features that are built off all the stuff you already love. If you've never played Farm Heroes, don't worry, the game is easy to learn and fun right from the beginning. Like most level-based games though, it does get difficult as you go, and that is where these tips will help you out, so let's get right to it. Top tip number 1, when in doubt, make a square match. It's likely to be useful later. For emphasis, we have 2 exclamation points here, and making a square match is almost always a good idea. Square matches make super cropsies, which are good for several reasons. Another thing square matches do is they also clear out a good bit of space. The super cropsies hold their number until you collect them, which can speed things up when you want to complete your goals, and making space gets the other cropsies moving around, which means lots of good stuff can happen after you make the match. In this short clip, notice how we can't get the blue match that we need. We solved the problem by making a purple square match to get pieces moving, and also note that since purple isn't a collection color, it adds to the count of the nearby cropsies before it's removed from the board. When we make the green square match, we end up collecting our blue cropsies as the wind blows them to fill in the space left on the board, and we get to finish the level. Top tip 2. If one side of the board seems locked up, use wind to move it and create space. Wind levels are the most unique feature in Farm Heroes Super, and they can be a little bit tough to figure out since the mechanics are brand new. This tip is reminding us that Super Saga is different than any other matching games we're used to because the pieces on windy levels don't fall toward the bottom. They move in the same direction of the swipe that we use to make the match. In our clip we can see it is a windy level right from the beginning because the leaves blow across the screen. We are trying to move Fidget the squirrel and the acorn together, so we start making matches in between them. At a point there aren't any other matches that we can make in between the two items, so we can't get them closer. What are we going to do? We're going to have to look outside and make matches on the outside of that blocked area, create space and change things up. Eventually this changes the layout enough so that we can make a purple square match which charges Fidget up, and we'll talk about that more in a later tip, and he's able to collect the acorn, which accomplishes our goal. Top tip 3. Acorns under the leaves will always be hidden in the same place for that level. This is pretty straightforward, but it's pretty good to know at the same time. When a level has leaves on the ground, you need to clear them out to find where the acorns are that you need to collect. Sometimes this can take a few tries to figure out, and so whenever you play this one again, they'll be back in the same place. In the clip, we find that there's 2 acorns at the bottom of the board. We quit the level so we can start from the beginning again, and we find the same 2 acorns in the exact same position. We could keep playing this level all day long and they'll still both be right there. Top tip 4. Matching at the bottom of the board causes more cascades. Not to contradict the game designers here, but I need to mention that this tip applies specifically to non-windy boards. This is a good tip for any match 3 game with normal gravity, and what's cool is that if you're playing wind levels, you can actually do this go in any direction once you get the hang of it. So in the clip you can see that we need to remove flowers from the top of the board. By making a match at the bottom, watch how the pieces help us out as they fall into place. When the colors filling in the empty space on the board match up, the flowers get hit, and we get other matches which help in our collection. Top tip 5. Try to remove Rancid's cans as soon as possible. Rancid the raccoon is up to his old tricks, and to beat him in Super Saga we have to make matches next to his cans which he throws on the board. Each time we make a match, the can flips up and hits him, and if we do this enough times he'll get knocked down for the count. In our clip you can see Rancid throws his cans on the board right away, and he'll continue to keep adding them if you don't start knocking them back. When we hit him with one of the cans he goes down briefly, which makes it easier for us to focus on completing our goal. Top tip 6. In general, removing the static item like flowers or ice is the best task to start on first. On different levels you run into ice or flowers which block the board or cut you off from being able to collect what you need. So getting them out of the way will speed things up and it'll help you get the rest of your collection so you can beat the level. In our clip we have a ton of flowers in the way on this particular board and there's no real room to make any good magic. Watch as we clear away the flowers and see how many different options open up just as fast as we remove them. Also notice this ties in with tip 4, as the more space we have, the more, that has a direct influence on the number of cascades that we'll see. Top tip 7, if you don't beat Rancid, he'll come back soon after. Rancid doesn't stay on the same levels like he did in the original Farm Heroes Saga. Instead, he pops up on different parts of the map, and you get one chance to beat him and collect some coins. Remember, you have to knock him out and complete the level to get the coin. So in our clip, we come close to knocking him out and beating the level, but we come up a little bit short. We were thinking, oh, well, that was close and I really want to earn some coins, but when we look at the map, again, the level doesn't have the raccoon on it anymore. Don't worry, after some time you'll see him hanging out on the map and he'll be at the bottom left corner of the screen, so you'll know that he's there and that you can try to beat him again. Top tip 8, in Showtime you'll get 3 moves to collect your super cropsies. Showtime is Super Saga's version of hero mode. If you have 3 moves left, you get 3 shots to collect as many collection points as you can, and that will raise your score. If you have a lot of moves left when you finish the level, you get the extra moves will earn you some extra super cropsies on the board. And if you have less than 3 moves, you'll still get to go. You only get if you have 2 moves, you'll get to take 2 extra moves and you get a chance to clean things up. In our clip you can see that we have a lot of super cropsies left and we don't want to have all these points left on the board. Sometimes you can't find a match that will match your supers together directly, so you have to be a little creative and use matches that will cause big ones to happen after. Those extra points can get you an extra star, which translates into extra growth in the country show. Top tip 9, you will always earn a little bit of growth even if you don't finish the level. Growth equals making coins from the country show, and coins equal boosters you can use for tough levels. In our clip, notice that we didn't finish the level, but even though we didn't, we still earned 5 growth points for our effort. Top tip 10. Making a super cropsy next to a goat or squirrel will make them power up. As we mentioned earlier, super cropsies are almost always useful, and they can make the squirrel reach further with his tail when you make the match right next to him. The same goes for the goat, except he will actually jump to a useful spot on the board. So in our clip you'll see that we have some hay up at the top where we have to collect it, but we can't get to it from the main part of the board. By making a super cropsy right next to the goat, it powers him up and he'll jump to the outside square where he can collect the hay for us. It should be noted that this is the only way to get to that square, so you don't want to forget this tip. So those are the top 10 tips from the Farm Heroes Saga team at King Studio in London. I hope this video helped to make them a little easier to understand. Please like the video if you found it useful and subscribe to my channel to find all the Farm Heroes Super Saga level videos that I put out. Try to keep them up to date, and if you need help you can always find it there. I want to thank the King team for putting these tips together, and I'll be posting more helpful videos based on their content in the near future. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.